Finally, after 2 years, every living hostage taken on October 7th is now out of Gaza. But right before their release, Zohran Mamdani was running a 5K race to raise money for a UN organization that employed a dozen people directly involved in the attacks of October 7th, which started this war. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Miranda Devine. So great to see you this morning, Miranda. If this is not the most government thing I've ever heard, you have a guy running for public office who is raising money for the UN organization that employed actual actors who on October 7th started the war that President Trump has just managed to bring an end to.
It really is just mind-boggling. I think with Mamdani, every time you think that you've heard something terrible, you hear something even worse the next day about this completely unsuitable candidate who looks like he's going to romp into office. UNRWA is a totally discredited organisation. As you said, a dozen of their employees actively participated in the slaughter of October 7. And even under the Biden administration, their funding was frozen. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, issued this report a few months ago showing that this was a terror-linked organisation that supported Hamas, that was corrupt. And Donald Trump has signed an executive order banning any more American money going to it, which is pretty much a third of its funding and hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So by supporting this discredited organisation, what sort of a message is Mamdani sending to the world about America, about divisions within it? And I think, his foreign entanglements are very worrying.
Yeah, and also, what does it say about him? But it was interesting, Miranda, to look at all of the video yesterday of President Trump meeting in the Knesset, meeting in Egypt, and you had all of these leaders from all around the world. The one entity that was completely not represented at all yesterday was, of course, the United Nations. And that's because the United Nations had absolutely zero to do with any of the peace that is broken out. And, of course, they are in perfect lockstep with Mamdani, who loves to use the same language that you hear in the United Nations about how Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. On October 7th, Mamdani writes this: in the aftermath of that day, Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Israeli government launched a genocidal war, and then goes on to talk about the death toll in Gaza, which is tremendously unfortunate, but of course part of a war. But that language of the genocide that Mamdani likes to repeat, it's the same thing you hear from the United Nations.
That's such a good point. And the United Nations, which, its home is in New York City, is really, I think, the centre of international leftism. It reflects the worst of the globalist left and it props them up. And look, I think the best thing that Donald Trump could do is to give them a new headquarters in Gaza.
I think that's a tremendous idea. And hopefully President Trump...
It's a great... Yeah.
Yeah. They could build their own building over there too. There's plenty of space for that. Great idea, Miranda. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. And
Thanks,
Fox
Charlie.
and Friends reached out to the Mamdani campaign for comment, but they did not immediately respond.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.